they asked Jordan Spieth today, he's Player of the Year. They said, "What does this really mean to you?" He said, "Well, there's a trophy involved, I guess." And he said, "I get my name. They'll add another sentence in Wikipedia." I thought it's one of the great answers of all time. It's all about Wikipedia.
So the past weekend, did he get $10 million extra or did he get like $20 million extra? How many millions did he get?
Well, he got $22 million
Holy
for the
moly.
year. For the year.
But $10 million for winning the presidency.
Okay, only $10 million last
he got
weekend.
$10 million for that, but he also got 1.2
for winning
for the victory.
Yeah.
So $12 million plus $10 million, $22 million, and he said he's keeping all the trophies in a closet.
And
let's go to the mailbag, guys. I want to go to the mailbag.
A lot of people with a lot of questions for you, Woodrow.
At the sports show, will playing football in London help the Dolphins get a W? Well, it's their home game. No, I don't think that helps them get a W. I think when you take a game out of your stadium and you go basically make it a neutral site game, it makes a different thing. I think they're not going to get the victory, I don't think. So, no, that's my answer.
Yeah. They're a mess.
This is my scientific answer. I know one young NFL fan from London, and the jersey he wears says Tannehill on the back.
Is it spelled right?
Yeah. And so I think the home crowd would just be cheering their arses off for the Dolphins, and they get the win.
Bullocks.
Bullocks.
Let's go to the next one. That was Soup JC or something. Duke. You know, somebody's going to one day do one that I don't really get.
This could have been one of them.
That's what I just thought.
This could have been one of those times.
Duke Frukum. Duke Frukum.
Way to go, Duke.
Will Peyton Manning's arm be a pile of dust by the end of the No.
I'm not going to answer this question because Woody will have a convulsion.
It might be by the end of the Minnesota game with this offensive line.
No. The thing about it, when you have not a particularly strong arm, it's not going to turn to dust. It's not going to do anything.
Well, see, the question is all wrong. Be a pile of dust by the end of the season? It was a pile of dust before the season began.
Well, I'm saying, well, you and I are in agreement on that.
Yes, he's got nothing to lose. It's all up here.
It's right up here. So he outthinks you. How many quarterbacks, think about it, watching the Detroit game, that throw to Emmanuel Sanders was what I've talked about before. That was a smart play. What is the worst thing that could happen on that play?
Interception.
It's intercepted. And he'd get all the grief in the world, but what he did was what I want to see more of them do. Put it up for Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Let's see their athletic ability and their great hands to catch it.
And isn't that what Sanders said after the game is, let me climb the ladder and go get it for you, Peyton.
And so that's what they had is two plays, and Peyton's made fun of it. He completed 31 passes, and he's making fun of the fact that, I completed 2 passes according. He's going into his Peyton Manning mode. So it's already
rim shot.
It's already in college. If you go back and YouTube it, you can do it. You can look at Peyton Manning in college. I was there for games against Arkansas. Was one specifically. He didn't have a great arm when he was in college.
Well, and not only that, the Broncos have been telling us since the beginning of the season he's throwing the ball with a lot of zip on it. So stop.
And they told us that Ty Zambrello's a good left tackle.
This is from Brent Alston.
That was the coaching staff.
Brent Alston. How is it possible that both the Broncos and Ravens offenses are worse after the Kubiak move?
Wow. I thought I did the snark around here.
That's an interesting question.
A guy told me in Australia that every year there are about 120 immigrants who go from Australia to New Zealand. And when they do, it improves the IQ in both countries. Think about that.
Wow.
That's kind of what that question sounds like to me. The Ravens... Mark Trestman didn't show me. Mark Trestman was supposed to be a great offensive mind.
Yes.
Canada and everything.
He lost his luster in
the Ravens
Chicago.
didn't deserve to win that game last night, so I don't know how they could be celebrating today. That was a game that was just handed to them.
Yep.
I said today on Around the Horn.
The way they handed one to the Denver.
My question for Around the Horn today would be here today. Did the Steelers lose that game last night, or did the Steelers lose that game last night?
One more.
Yes. Yes, Lamb, a pirate.
Yes, I am a pirate.
For everybody at home, hold your tongue and say I was born on a pirate ship.
Well, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
All you
not
kids
in the studio.
Not with a microphone.
All you kids at home do that.
Yeah.
Do you expect any teams to manipulate the medical TO rule? Driving under 2 minutes, no timeouts left, players fake head injury.
Yeah, Belichick will do it.
Well, but here's the deal: is it's a 10-second runoff, so you got to keep that in mind. That you've either got to take a timeout. If you got no timeouts, you got to take a 10-second roll-off. And I've seen it happen with the Broncos. You have to go way back before either one of you covered the team when they started that 10-second roll-off, and the Broncos lost the game. Craig Morton lost the game standing there. Couldn't even do anything. So
you're absolutely right. This is nothing new. People have been faking injuries late all the time.
Right.
This
and if
segment
anybody will do it, Belichick will.
Well, but I think teams,
Sure, you just got to get their shut in on Belichick.
teams do it. But social media ripped on a guy from Texas who they said he faked an injury. He had a real injury and was going off the field with a left shoulder injury, and the Texas coaches told him to go back out there and fall down. And so they still had to take a timeout. This segment was brought to you by John Elway Cadillac of Park Meadows, and there's nothing we can say, would ever think of saying, to question John Elway Cadillac of Park Meadows, because it's Colorado's #1 Cadillac dealership.